All right, guys, we're here. All right, so market's up a little bit today. It's not up a huge amount, but we have jobless claims, unemployment numbers dropping this morning. All right. Um. All right, guys. So we got jobless claims, unemployment numbers coming out today. They are expected at 222,000. We'll put this up on screen. We'll put a timer up as well. 222,000. All right. All right. What's up, Shepard, Sam, Quality, Pawn, Doe, Al? All right. All right, we got 455 on the SPY. All right. All right, what's up, Mo, Shepard, Alyssa, Sam? All right, guys. So again, market's up a little bit today. Not a huge amount though. So it's kind of neutral. Look, here's the SPY. We had C3 AI earnings come out yesterday. You can see they gapped down mostly from it. We also had Chewy earnings, GameStop earnings. They're all down from those. We got the Q up here, Nvidia at 456. Nvidia had a red day yesterday as well. I'm not anything, bro. I mean, I'm long in some stuff, but I took 1 million and one long on the 15-minute demand, and I know it's kind of early micro Nasdaq, but bullish engulfing at 615, trending above VWAP. Yeah, I mean, micro is probably a little bit too small for me to trade that, but hey, I hope you make money, brother. I'm not against it. I mean, do whatever you got to do. Take whatever size you got to take. I'm not judging, you know. All right. All right, sorry, I'm checking other stuff here. All right, so we have this one. All right, so I'm going to pull up some other stuff here. Low risk. I'm trying to pass the 150K combine. I mean, do what you do, brother. Again, I think for me, like, sorry, I'm listening to old Lil Wayne in the background. I gotta change it because it's just too distracting for me. I can't hear anything else. But no, I think for me, like, passing the combines mostly has to do with taking swings, right? Like, I think once you're funded, you could scale down and do all that stuff. But, like, when you're trying to get funded, I think you gotta just take swings. That's what I do. So we'll put this on a 1 minute chart. I got this one in 1 minute, this one 5 minutes, this one 5 minutes. Alright, so again, you got the NVIDIA bouncing back up. Can y'all hear the music? No, y'all can't. Oh, my bad. Here, let me fix this. You can trade some crypto futures, some micro crypto futures specifically is what you can trade on there. Micro Bitcoin futures specifically is what you can trade. All right, so we're scalping a little bit early on the NASDAQ short, mostly from a chart prime signal. We're going to go ahead and cut that there. I got to start using limits. You know, we're up about 140. Can I ask something? Am I required to maintain sufficient margin to cover the margin requirements of my over leveraged position? If I don't, then my positions may be closed. You're talking about stocks? If you're talking about stocks, it depends on how much margin your broker gives you, and that's usually a set amount, right? Like typically with day trading, you're not required to cover them unless you get what's called a margin call, which is basically your broker saying, hey, we don't want to float this position anymore. You're going to have to put up the money for the position within X amount of time, or we're going to close the position. Again, that's called a margin call. But it's not super common. It just depends. It's more common if you're like, if people are holding on to like long-term shorts. We're here. Yeah, it's more common if people are like holding on to long-term shorts that are long-term longs that are like losing value and like losing money over time, where the broker's skeptical about covering it. That's typically how it happens. All right, so we asked the poll, does jobless claims cause bullish or bearish market action? 72% say bullish, 17% say bearish, 10% say I don't know. That's about 60 votes. Yeah, we're just drinking our coffee sitting here. Could also look at the Dow too, but look at that less. Jobless claims numbers. Let me get the timer up. It's about 7. So jobless claims numbers drop in about an hour and a half. We got this timer set a little bit ahead of time, but that's all right. We'll keep it like this. I watch 1 minute and 5 minute mostly quality, Andy. I've never actually checked like the 3 minute time for, you know. Typically what I do is like, you'll see me take little starter positions. So like I'm in this one position, right? You can see I'm up 50 bucks. I'm going to add to this position to where I'm closer to break even, and I'm going to take a much larger risk. And if it pushes down more, I'll take some profit off. If it doesn't, then, you know, we got 2 contracts now. We're up 55. Now we're going to take half of that off and lock in more profit and still be up. You can see we just took more off. We're up 220 on the day. Yet we're still up. And so we're going to let this ride. Now we're up 40. Almost 40. 10 now. 10. We start to go into negatives. We're just going to cut it quick. But I don't think we'll need to by the price action. Looks like it wants to break down, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and cut that. All right, so now we are up about $190 on the day. Pretty good. And so got about $200 in gains on the day. We'll take it. Market's been pretty red, I would say. I think market's a little neutral too. Alright, so we're very lucky to just catch another $50 gain. We are now up 230 on the day or so. Just taking one contract of regulars, though. Again, I don't like using micros, especially when I'm getting funded, because it takes too long to build up profit, right? Like, especially if you're doing something like the 150K combine, brother. That's going to take so long if you're using micros. It's probably not going to be worth it, in my opinion. I mean, that's just me, though. I'm a little bit faster of a scalper, but that's just me personally. You know? Okay, yeah, if you're just warming up, it's fine. Yeah, all good, Mo. Yeah, man, I was trading micros for a long time, and like I wasn't having success getting funded. I was being too scared, is what it really is. Like, I think if you want to get funded, it really is like a mentality thing. You have to say, hey, I'm okay with resetting. I'm okay with resetting. I'm gonna find good trades, take big swings, and risk my account in the first go. Right? Once I have like $1,000 up, like $1,000 cushion on the account, then I can be a lot more loose with what I decide to trade to get funded with. But was the AMD AI event yesterday? I wish I would have covered it. What time was it? This might have been why GameStop attention was so slow. Yeah, man, I should have covered this. That sucks. It's all good. We're not going to catch everything. Yeah, all good. So what did they talk about at the AI event, V? If I missed it, what did they talk about? Okay, we got jobless claims, unemployment filings. Those are expected today at 222,222. And again, these have had a pretty big influence over markets lately. We got jobless claims. We had a pretty good following for non-farm employment numbers. And then tomorrow we got the big boys with unemployment payroll numbers, consumer sentiment data. I think it's University of Michigan consumer sentiment data is what it is. Yeah, so I'm grinding up another short position here on the NASDAQ, mostly from chart prime indicators. You can see I already locked in some profit. Again, we're up 320 on the day, plus about 75. I'm going to go ahead and get out there scalping that. So now we're up about 400 even on the day or so. Probably should let these trades go a little bit longer. Mostly trading what's called the Q. Not really, Sam. Yeah, I'm not sure about that on eToro, Dalta. I'm really not sure, man. I think that's odd. The whole point of margin is them giving you money you don't have. So them saying you basically have to keep your account full with the amount of margin you have is kind of a little weird. But like, it's been a while since I've worried about it like that. Like as an example, right? Like just to give you a breakdown of like my account here, like my TOS account has got, it's getting close to 70K in it. Right now for day trading buying power, like day trading margin, they give me like 200 and something thousand dollars to trade with. So I got like almost $250,000 to trade with on TOS. But again, my equity is much lower than that. It's like 70K or something. No, jobless claims is every Thursday. Unemployment is tomorrow, which is Friday, as well as non-farm payrolls are tomorrow, which is Friday. All right, guys, and again, we're a week in November. Yeah, I use a bunch of different stuff. But again, you guys ready? I'm ready. Market's still kind of quiet though. Remember, we got jobless claims data showing up today soon. Again, you guys had a red or green day. Also, slap that like button here, team. One of the easiest ways to support the channel is to hit the like button. Oh, man. Anybody have any ideas for acquisition in businesses? Like, I'm looking to buy businesses because that's all I know how to do. But I'm struggling on finding business that I think are worthwhile to buy. I think my wrist might be like hurt too, dude. I can't put any pressure on it. If I put any pressure, oof. Let me see. Wrist pain often caused by sprains or fractures. I should probably go get this checked out. How do I fix this? All right. Bubble tea. Bro. Nah. Ice cream van. I'm not going to do a crypto startup. Although it might be time to do one. Chicken shawarma takeout. Yeah, I might have to go get me a wrist brace. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to wear something, man. It hurts. Like, I didn't do jujitsu yesterday, but I'm assuming this is from jujitsu somewhere along the line. It's interesting because, like, I could squeeze on it. I could do all this different stuff. I can move it around like this. If I push, it's really actually if I hold something. Like, if I hold something, like, heavy, that's when it hurts. I think it's MBT Z3 right now, James. I think it's MBT Z3. It's micro Bitcoin futures for Quant Tower, but yeah, I think it's MBT Z3. I'm looking it up. A lot of people say it. So here's another thing. So sometimes when I wake up, my hands feel numb. And like they hurt, like they almost pulsate a little bit, like I can feel it. I hope it's not. A lot of people are saying carpal tunnel, and it makes sense because I sit at this computer all day, you know. Yeah. I know exactly where I heard it too now that I think about it. So I was rolling with this guy, right? And he's like a little bit newer than me, but he's not new, you know? So it's not like I was just kind of beating up some brand new guy. I always want to clarify that. I was rolling with this guy, and I got him in a rear naked choke, right? Rear naked choke, you go like, you know, like this. And like he was fighting me like this. Like he had his hands there, but like I remember I was just kind of using that pressure to kind of let it slowly sink in. And I remember distinctly when I did like this, it hurt, right? And so when I started to squeeze like that, it hurt. This was a couple days ago, and that must have been where I hurt the wrist. Like gripping my own bicep in a rear naked choke. Are you doing Dollar General earnings? Oh, I forgot we had some earnings plays this morning. Let me take a look. Hold on. I mean, I'll cover them for sure. It looks like Dollar General are already out with their numbers. They came in at 126 EPS, revenue of 9.69 billion. So DG's already out with theirs. They beat. Dollar General posted EPS 126. They expected 119. Sales of 9.7. They expected 9.65. They see fiscal year net sales growth up 1.5% to 2.5%, with the same store sales growth in the range of a decline of approximately 1% to flat. $7.60 fiscal year 23 EPS. They thought they were coming at $7.45, so better than expected guidance as well. I'll put some of this stuff up on screen. I mean, best is subjective. I could say chocolate cake is best. Somebody else might come along and say strawberry cake is better. You know what I mean? And so it doesn't really matter what I think. I like Quant Tower. I like Top Step X. If you can get in on Top Step X, if they're allowing enough people to use Top Step X. Top Step X is really my favorite. But I don't see Top Step X anywhere. I like Quant Tower for now. Dixie not helping my position. Yeah. Hey, y'all hit that like button, guys. Again, we appreciate it. Run those likes up. We got 41. We put the Dollar General numbers. I'm still holding my NASDAQ long, targeting 15,869. Maybe I'm seeing being a little ambitious, but I don't see any clear resistance zones. Maybe. I think the NASDAQ's really flat right now, to be honest. I mean, we're slightly in a bullish trend if we look at it. Like, here's the Q on the left side here. I think we're slightly in a bullish trend currently, obviously. NASDAQ's a little bit stronger than the Q, but again, the volume's kind of light and it's a little choppy. Like, here's the trend. You know, I think that's what we're in right now, and I'm not sure when we're going to break it. I rode NVIDIA all the way from the top to the bottom yesterday. It was great. Hopefully stays down so I can cash out when we open. Hey, good luck. Are you in call options or put options? There's NASDAQ at 60 showing fairly significant bullish delta divergences. Yeah. Again, we'll see. NASDAQ's, I see an upward trend here, but it's also something like, I don't know what we're going to get. I sold my call at 473, then turned around, but I hit the top trend. Hey, good luck. I hope you make money for sure. Nvidia down a lot yesterday, so he looks like he did. I'm always kind of off with options though. Like I'm never very good at trading them. Yeah, I heard about stuff going on overseas. You guys think we're going to have a red or green day today? The market was definitely red slightly yesterday. We had C3 and GameStop earnings. GameStop earnings were honestly surprisingly light. To the point where I don't know if I'm going to cover GameStop next time because like they haven't done earnings calls lately and like that's killing the attention and hype from it. So yeah, I mean, big nuance, I think. All right, so Treasury rally stalls. Dollar sliding down. And I'm trying to be patient. I'm looking at market news right now. Again, we had some Dollar General earnings. I wonder if that's going to influence market action today. I don't think so too much. All right, again, we got the Challenger job cuts in 7 minutes too. Might be relevant. NEO contemplates further layoffs amid economic struggles. Yeah, step one for anybody getting involved in the stock market, do not buy a sleazy penny stock course. It's the equivalent of a lose 30 pounds today diet pill. Like, it just doesn't freaking work. You know, it just doesn't work. Wait, was there a House of Dragon teaser? Oh, dude. How did I miss this, bro? How did I miss this? Disappointed. GameStop did good, plus this is just in. GameStop can invest in other stocks. The board approved it yesterday. Thoughts? I think that's good. I remember you selling push-ups. Yeah. Capitalism thriving over here, you know. Bank of Japan interest rate increase. We got the Challenger job cuts right now. What's up, Biggie? Follow the moving averages. Again, we're scalping a little bit. We're up about 450 on the day. This was a bad fill too. Like, we were green when we took that off, like, for whatever reason. All right, there we go. We just cut a little bit more. Again, you can kind of see we're up about 530 on the day. Building up a nice little cushion. Nice little cushion. All right, again, we got Challenger job cuts dropping about 2.5 minutes here, guys. 3.5 minutes, actually, but still. Bro, I can't get behind all the filters people use, bro. I really can't, man. Like, bro, okay. Like, listen, I'm in my 30s, okay? Like, I have wrinkles, all right? Do you know how unnatural it looks for me to get on the internet and, like, if I were to get on the internet and just put a filter out, taking away every wrinkle I have? You know how weird it looks? Nobody, like, it's unnatural. It's weird. Like, and the people doing it, some of them are even, like, delusioned about it to where they think that they look great and you just can't tell. But why does it, if you don't really look like that in real life, why try to make yourself look like that, bro? The only all that's going to happen is people are going to see you in real life and be like, oh, this person uses a lot of filters online. Like, why does the online, why does it matter that much? People look like freaking Edward from Twilight now. They're glistening out here. You know what I mean? Like, it gets to be excessive. Like, I'm okay if you want to touch up yourself a little bit. Like, that's fine. But take the crazy, like, young-looking filter off. You look ridiculous. You look ridiculous. All right. All right, I'm sorry. It should be playing music right now. It's supposed to actually not play any... I don't know what kind of music that was either. There we go. Jobless data is how many people are filing for unemployment. And so because of that, it's relevant. Like, it's how many people are actually filing for unemployment. And so, again, it's relevant. It's how many people are claiming to be unemployed. In a market in which the Fed is saying we need a less resilient and more push-down labor market, jobless claims unemployment data is incredibly relevant for all of it. As well as tomorrow is the big jobs report. Like, tomorrow we have unemployment and payroll numbers coming out at 8:30 tomorrow. That's the biggest report of this week. That'll influence things big. It's something you want to watch for sure. I don't know. I'm in Google right now. I hope it goes up. And again, I'm not judging you if you use filters. Like, I get it. Again, I'm in my 30s. Like, I understand. I guess, like, I have family who they post pictures on Facebook and social media, and again, they're like glistening, and they're like 60 years old, and it just looks weird, like, it just looks weird. Like, I get wanting to look good, I understand, but it looks off. Like, they have to see that. I don't really expose anybody. I never say names. I rant about nonsense sometimes, and that's okay. Top 3 nonsense ranters in the world right now. GameStop gave it all the way down to 1360s. A very underwhelming reaction considering what the numbers actually were. The numbers were better than expected. Revenue was disappointing, though. I think that's what's causing dips in GameStop. As well as they didn't do an earnings call. I think that's a bad sign, man. I think that's a bad sign. Yeah, maybe, like, people say I look young for my age, but I don't know. They might just be being nice. I know I used to look young for my age. I think the beard definitely makes me look older. I think if I shave the beard, I look young for sure. But I still like my idea that's breaking the upside. It's the longer range than norm. Good data today. Oil can run back to 70 plus. Yeah, oil's been on a struggle lately. Gold, too. Gold's been running up, with Bitcoin, but gold has been sideways for the last few days, basically sitting at around 2040, 2050 for gold. I don't eat it. I eat terribly, bro. If I look young, and I'm not saying I do, I don't want to be those guys like, yeah, look how young I look. Like, I don't want to be that guy. But I eat terribly. I eat mostly fried food. I'm from Louisiana, so we don't have the most healthy native diet, I guess is the easiest way to put it. But I don't eat the best. But if I do look young, it's probably genetics, because my dad looks young. My son looks young for his age, you know. Alright, guys. Hey, Challenger job cuts should have just dropped. Let's see what they showed up as. Alright, so Challenger job cuts. Challenger job cuts came in at 45.5K. Not really influencing the market like that. Again, the big one is jobless claims unemployment, but they came in at 45.51 thousand versus 36.8 thousand last time. I grew up about 45 minutes away from New Orleans. Yeah, I mean, again, we'll see if we get anything good today. Yeah, I mean, Monroe is just much more north from Baton Rouge. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, right? So I'm from South Louisiana, really, like South. I'm from like South. I'm from Southeast Louisiana. All right. Monroe and Shreveport, they're just much, it's a different culture up there. It really is. Like, it's just a different culture up there. Like, I would say it's like this, right? Great food everywhere, right? Great food everywhere. But Shreveport, Monroe, that's more of kind of like a Alabama style culture, I would say. It's still Louisiana, of course. Like, I like Shreveport, I like Monroe. But even the accents are different relative to like what we have a little bit more South Louisiana. You know, I don't live in Louisiana anymore, but yeah, that's kind of how it goes. All right, guys. Hey, slap that like button here. We're almost up to 100 likes. I'm counting the likes here, guys. Got about 300 people here. Again, we still got an hour before this data comes out. An hour. I'm still kind of regretting I didn't cover that chip event yesterday. News analysis, positive or negative? Which one? I mean, again, Challenger job cuts is it just is not influential. If it was, you would have seen the SPY or the Q or NVIDIA or whatever move. It's just not influential, right? That's the first thing to understand. It's just not really super influential. Tesla's still over 240s. The big ones today, are jobless claims numbers, okay? Those are expected at 222,000. Those drop in 55 minutes. 55 minutes. That's the only big thing today, really. We got the Fed balance sheet data coming out at about 4:30 today, market time. But that's not really a big move either. It's not going to really cause any big influence. Tomorrow's the big boys, where we got non-farm payrolls, unemployment, Michigan consumer sentiment, and expectation data. So that's what we got right now. That's the big stuff to watch. Market's pretty neutral too. I mean, Q was up, Tesla's up. I'm from Lafayette. Anything north of Alexandria is called a different state. North Louisiana, 100%, man. And again, y'all might hear me say this and think I'm just kind of being petty. I'm really not. Again, I like Shreveport. I like Monroe, okay? Like, I'm not saying I don't like those places, all right? But they're different cultures, bro. They're completely different, dude. They're completely different. South Louisiana is a different thing, you know. And again, I like both of them. Better food in South Louisiana for sure. Although, good fried food up north and like Shreveport and stuff. The Fed will shred more money when it comes to the balance sheet. Maybe. That commercial for the solar charging watch is lovely. I want one even though I can't wear them. Yeah. And yeah, I've been getting the itch to get into like watch sales. That's been one of the businesses that I might start is I might start like buying watches. I don't want to get ripped off though. So what I really might do is I might learn how to detect counterfeit watches, counterfeit stuff like that, and then get real ones. And you know, and I also wouldn't mind learning how to like fix up watches. Like I've learned how to take like links off of watches and stuff like that before. But I think really learning how to do it as well as check to make sure they're legit watches and stuff like that is what you got to do. That's something I've been thinking about. Any advice on that, I appreciate. Because I think as technology gets better and the fakes become more lifelike and real, you're going to need more and more of those skills. All right, guys. Hey, slap that like button. What about real estate? I mean, I'm a real estate agent right now, bro, you know, but like, I don't like, bro, the problem with real estate is this. Number one, it's seasonal, right? So you basically got 5 months to really sell houses like that, right? So you got essentially February, March, April, or you got March, April, May, June, July, August, September to sell houses. So like that group of months, once you get into October, November, December, very few people want to buy houses. That's number one. Okay. So number one is that real estate seasonal. Number two, mortgage rates are freaking 8% right now, bro. Nobody wants to get a mortgage. 3 years ago, it was at 2%, 2.5%, 3% interest rates. Now they're at 8%. They're literally almost 3 times more. You're going to pay 3 times more in a mortgage now than you would have 3 years ago. Okay, it's very difficult. Like, nobody wants to buy a house. And again, I was never the type of person, like, I'm trying to think of the easiest way to put this. Like, I was never a high pressure salesman. Right? Like I was never one of those people where if they weren't interested in something, I had to push. Like I needed to push. I wanted to push until I sold them. Right? Like I was never a high pressure salesman. Like is the easiest way to put it. I never was. I never wanted to be. I've had jobs historically in which, you know, my main job was to do that, right? To prospect is what they call it. I just don't think I'm good at it. Again, I take more of like, I'll build up a following and then use that following to do whatever, right? Like that's my go-to. Obviously that's what I've done here with beginner trading. But, yeah, I'm just not a high pressure salesman. And so I think I'm at a distinct disadvantage because of that in real estate, because I think that, and again, aside from the fact that interest rates are 8% right now. Again, it's not a money problem. Like I have money, and that's part of like what it is like I have money to a certain extent. Like I can buy real estate, but with everything outside of that, I don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? So like I know I can invest, and of course, like I'm doing that. Certainly, I'm certainly investing. I'm certainly buying real estate, but like, you know, what else to do with it is buy businesses. But I'm very skeptical as a person. I don't trust a lot of the people selling the businesses, you know. Hey, what's up, Marcus, Justin? Again, I also really think that like if you want to be successful at anything, you have to truly be interested in it, right? If you're not interested in what you're doing, then it's not going to work. You're not going to have the perseverance and the resiliency to actually like push when you should be, when you want to, right? And so if you're going to succeed at a business, you got to like doing it. And you know, so right now it's like my hobbies are jujitsu, you know, trading, stock market. And so I could start a jujitsu company, but But I'm still a crappy white belt. So, I mean, what is that going to do? Nothing. All right, guys, we're at 386.05 on the queue. Again, Tesla at 240.60s. Do you coach your kids' sports teams? Yes and no. I have taught my kids both specifically how to do a lot of different sports. My daughter is really good at softball. I've been playing catch and teaching her baseball and softball since she was 4. My son as well. My son knows how to play baseball really well. The problem with my son, specifically with baseball, is that we've tried. I've enrolled him in sports, but he gets really, really bad seasonal allergies. His entire face swells up, right, during the spring and partly into the summer. And so, so we have them in jiu-jitsu, and I teach them what I know in jiu-jitsu as well. My daughter does softball, but my daughter's a softball team, so like I'm not going to be able to coach them. I don't think they want me to coach them, I don't think I have enough empathy to coach like a teenage softball group. I really don't. Just me go and watch their softball team. I want to yell at some of the other kids. I want to yell at some of the other parents for sure. So I just got to hold my tongue. Again, I don't have the patience to coach girls softball in middle school and high school. Like, I just don't have the patience for it. Yeah, I mean, listen, I diversify, of course. Like, I practice what I preach. Like, I invest. Diversification, and but again, you're gonna have money outside of that. And I think you really got to truly be diversified. Yeah, we've tried the honey thing. I've heard honey works for allergies for a long time. Hey, thanks so much, Envy. I appreciate it. Any thoughts on U.S. oil? I think oil's down a lot recently. No. Hey, what's up, TJ? Yeah, I think oil's down a lot recently. I'm in Exxon. Oil up a little bit today, but oil has been on basically a downward trend since September. If you look at oil as an example, right? Like, here's Exxon. Exxon has been in a downtrend since September. So, like, here's Exxon. Since September 28th, it's basically been trending down. Here's a daily chart, right? So this is a daily chart. This is oil. It's basically been going down and down and down. So, yeah. Why not just use an investment manager like BLK or Fidelity? Yeah, because I don't have multi-million liquid assets. Like, again, I'm not that wealthy, man. I'm not trying to claim to be, Like, I don't even know if I'd be considered a millionaire. It depends on what you would consider a millionaire, right? Like, based off of how much my businesses earn, you could call me a millionaire there to a certain extent, right? But like liquid assets, I don't know. I'd have to look, but I don't know. Point is, I'm not claiming to be some super rich or wealthy person. I'm just not. I do okay. Yeah, I appreciate it, Part. I'll check them out for sure. All right, hey, Exxon down a lot. Tesla is still up a little bit today. Again, we're watching the SPY. We got the jobless claims report coming out in an hour or so. Here's the SPY at 455. So we'll see if that moves. Jobless claims unemployment drop 8:30 this morning. We do have a Discord server, but we don't really use it anymore, so I'm not really going to plug it that much anymore. We just don't use it like that. It's too much to worry about and build. Too many people creating fake accounts, trying to act like different people. People just get... Narcissism shows itself online sometimes, I think. Specifically in terms of how people behave. And so, yeah, I'm just not, you know... we'll build a Discord, but we'll probably open up another one and just start over, I think. Yeah, 69 bucks a barrel. Yeah, if we look at /CL, like oil futures, that's just about $70 a barrel right now. So, did we break over 100 yet? We got 91, guys. 9 likes. And yeah, U.S. oil fund. I mean, it's just following oil like it has been. I mean, again, it's basically been downtrending since late September. So I think, number one, I think oil's probably a little extended on the downside currently. You know what I mean? I think oil's probably considered extended on the downside. Hey, you all right? All right, guys. So yeah, jobless claims unemployment drops in 40 minutes here. 40 minutes, guys. Put up your predictions in chat. Will jobless claims come in higher or lower than expected? Higher or lower than expected? Again, I'm going to tell you guys this. All right, this is the nuance of it. Higher than expected jobless claims means less people working. That will probably cause a positive reaction in markets because the Fed specifically said he wants to push down the labor market to combat and get us to the 2% inflation goal over time. And so if we have more people filing for unemployment, I'm not saying I agree with it, but it's something in which the market will probably react positively to if more people file for unemployment, i.e. more jobless claims numbers today. And vice versa, if the numbers come in lower than expected, that's probably going to be signaling a stronger labor market, which is not what we want right now, and in turn cause drops in markets. That's the nuance of it right now. I'm not sure what numbers we're going to show up as, but let me know if you agree with that specifically, as well as what you think the numbers are going to show up as. All right, guys. I agree. Higher, 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 lower. Yeah, we'll see. There we go. We broke 100 likes, or we're right at 100 likes right now. Hey, bro, what you doing over there? All right, guys. Again, jobless claims numbers, man. And again, what we've seen pretty freaking consistently. More jobs, bad. Less jobs, good. Higher jobless claims, good. Lower jobless claims, bad. I think is going to be the reaction today. Again, I'm not 100% sure. We don't really freaking know exactly what the market's going to behave or how the market's going to behave, but I think that's probably what we're going to see. Yes, Sam. I mean, again, we're probably not even going to be using this Discord anymore. There's too many bots, too many like fake accounts, too many stuff like that. We'll probably just create another one down the line. All right, guys. And again, we're at 455 on the SPY. All right, so part of me wants to buy the dip, but I think I'm just kind of hanging out right now. I think I have to just wait. Also looking at oil. Is it time to buy oil is the real question, I think, here. Is it time to buy oil? Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with the poll. Guys, I'm really not sure. Could be on y'all's end, but again, I'm really not sure there. Bro, I had the weirdest freaking dream. The weirdest dream yesterday. Again, I can't even say what my dream was, but the weirdest freaking dream. Alright. SPY's still moving up, but very choppy. I guess the market could be waiting for... I guess the market could be waiting. All right, we're at 455 right now. Tesla at 240.7, 240.7. Yeah, it was an odd dream, man. Again, I can't really even be specific here with it. But it was a strange dream. And then I hurt my wrist. It was a weird dream. It was based around a show we've been watching. Chewy just cracked lows at $17 here if we look at Chewy. Chewy just cracked lows at 17. Again, we got 30 plus minutes until jobless claims numbers come out. 30 minutes until we get jobless claims report. Yeah, a lot of people thought Micro Sailor's MicroStrategy would get liquidated when Bitcoin hit 16K. All right, so we have under 20,000 blocks until Bitcoin halving. Where'd Bitcoin end up going here? 14. Bitcoin at 45K right now, basically. Just around 45K at 44,000 right now, just under that. I had one morning, fell back asleep on the couch. Yeah, y'all want to hear some of my dreams? I've been recording my dreams. All right, so like I really have been recording my dreams. These are my dreams right now. Okay. All right, these are my dreams. All right, very strange dreams, but these are them. All right, you guys ready? This is them. So, alien forces take over the planet and separate everyone. The aliens look like big walruses. I'm in Baton Rouge by the Circle K. One of the people I'm with gets separated and taken by the aliens to be their spokesperson. They're chained up and used for propaganda and marketing purposes. It's all by Jefferson Highway in Baton Rouge. A stepdad shows up, another is family. Taking an exam, and this is a new dream, by the way. Another dream, but I'm taking an exam, and people are trying to cheat off my exam, but then I left it out in the weather. So I guess I left it out in the rain, and everybody got mad at me. My mom was trying to buy up a crappy motorcycle to get around because she didn't have transportation. But then weird weather shows up and starts to destroy everything. Tornadoes and monsters start showing up around everyone. Homeless people start disappearing out of their shoes. All right, that's another dream I had. An old friend of mine had a weird dad and lived with friends that I knew. This is a new dream. Went to the same school as me, but we weren't dating. Her dad was slow and didn't understand what German Shepherds were. We had to go to school and line up outside. Carol was with me and we walked around the neighborhood. We went to pick up cars, listening to Nas, but then the car flipped on the highway. Another dream, we went to Chuck E. Cheese like place and I ran into Derek Jeter, and he wanted to be friends with me and play games against me like racing. The last one, I was in the Third Reich, Germany, at a private Nazi school. I can't even read the rest. It's kind of out there. But like, those are my dreams. All right, I've been writing them down every time I wake up. Very strange, bro. Those are my dreams. Again, I don't know why I'm dreaming about stuff like that, but those are my dreams, man. And this has been for the last like 3 weeks. I've been having dreams like that. I don't know. C3 AI underwhelming earnings, and reaction. C3 gapping all the way down. Gapping down like over 15% from their earnings call. Yeah, all good. Throw in an AI generator. I have an AI art generator. Let me see if I have it. I don't know where it went though. I had one. I don't know what happened to it. I guess I deleted it. I had an AI art generator too. It must have been on my old phone though. No, that's not it. Oh well, we'll have to do that. Oh wait, here it is. Let's see if it lets me log in. What do you think about UAL stock? I know airlines ran a lot, like over the last few days. So yeah, like I know airline stocks. UAL, American Airlines, Delta Airlines. Yeah, they gapped up a little bit yesterday, but nothing really happened. Yeah. Cybertruck put out, you could hear it. Honestly, the Cybertrucks are quick, bro. People hate on them, but like, hey, y'all slap that like button, guys. Again, we got 30 minutes still until these numbers drop. 30 minutes. Jobless claims numbers showing up today. I have an AI art generator. It's just not letting me generate it. But yeah, you can see Chewy break it down. Again, you can see AI itself break it down. It's at 25s, 26s. Hey, what's up, Silver? Yeah, Chewy looking weak here. I might actually add to Chewy because I do like Chewy as a company, and I think people are going to be buying stuff online much more prevalently over time because people just don't use... I mean, people still go to pet stores, but I think people... I'm going to add some to my Chewy position here, actually. Fix my average a little bit. We're basically... Yeah, so I'm going to add this. We're not in a huge position. We're in like 30 shares of Chewy right now. And it has a limited downside, I think, so we're still alright. Hey, what's up, Jonathan? I use Chewy. Only thing I don't get from the pet store are toys because normally that's an impulsive buy when I'm out. Yeah, for sure. I feel you there. That's kind of me too. All right, guys. Again, Tesla at 241s. Tesla at 241s. AI at 2620s. 2620s. What's up, George? But again, we did buy a little bit of Chewy. Again, we're looking at GameStop here. GameStop, we're at 1360s, 1370s. Again, oil is another thing I'm considering adding into today. I think oil might be primed for a rebound here, so we might actually add a little bit to our oil position as well, just based off of how much they're down, because they've been dropping a lot. Sorry, we're scaling in. There we go. So that should be good. All right, so we just scaled into oil. We're actually green in our equities portfolio on the day. What's up, Douglas? Yeah, we got a nice little green day so far, and futures as well here. Here's what we were up on so far in futures. GameStop trending again, man. Again, everybody's supposed to go to SantaCon, New York City, dressed up like Roaring Kitty and a couple other ones. Bro, people get so emotional about it, though. That's the only problem, is that people get so freaking emotional. The problem with GameStop is simple. It's a failing business. It's just a failing business. It might have squeeze potential, and that's great. And again, it might have squeeze potential, and that's great. But long term, y'all know GameStop is not about to survive. Like, it's just the reality of things. I hate to be honest about it, but like, I gotta be honest. Y'all know GameStop is GameStop. Okay? Like, the reason you got the 2021 squeeze is because hedge funds got too greedy in it and set a squeeze event in place, right? But that doesn't make them fundamentally strong. They never were. They're losing money. You know, people don't buy physical copies. Their revenue is going, the easiest way to put it, GameStop revenue is declining year to year. All right? And it has been for a while now. And so if you don't look at this objectively, again, the problem is that people romanticize it too much at this point in time, where it's hard to look at objectively. Again, GameStop, unfortunately, is not going to be around in 10 years. It's just not. Everybody knows it's not. Maybe we get a squeeze then. But, again, a lot of people are just, like, I think what happens at this point in time is people are starting to get nostalgic about GameStop. They're making it too sentimental and romanticized as a trade, right? And so anytime you are too sentimental and romanticized regarding a specific stock, you are setting yourself up to lose, you know? Like, again, I like a lot of different companies. Do I feel warm and fuzzy about the community around any of these companies? Absolutely not. I could care less about the community or around any of them. You know why? Because that's not good investing. That's not good trading. All right? Like, you're not supposed to feel all warm and fuzzy around the stock because that makes you blinded in bias. And you're not objective. You can't look at it objective. Like, you're not looking at things clearly because you're too blinded by each other patting each other on the back and the friends and the community that's formed around it. I get it. But again, GameStop is not going to be around in 10 freaking years. It's just not. Like, anybody with eyes can see this, you know? And again, people are just lashing onto it. Joe Werner, give me your argument on GameStop being around in 10 years. Bro, I've said this 1,000 times. The problem is, like, I'll say this, right? Like, I'll say this, and then people will be like, nah. And then I'll say, okay, what's your argument for GameStop being around in 10 years? Their revenue is declining. If it continues at this pace in which their revenue is declining, they're not around in 10 years, bro. They're going to be bankrupt in 10 years. All right, so how do they succeed? What's their business model moving forward? It can't be physical video games, because people don't buy physical video games anymore. That's something that's obviously clear. All right, over time, consoles aren't even going to make disk drives for video games anymore. That's something that's obvious and very self-evident as well. The way you said warm and fuzzy was too funny, but way true, 100%. They have the ability to buy out companies, yeah, but then they're not GameStop. Then they're just buying another company, right? I'm talking about GameStop's business model right now. What does it look like? I'm not trying to hate. I'm being real. I'm trying to help people. Again, my issue is that I log onto the internet every day, and every single day you get a bunch of people crying on the internet about manipulation with GameStop. And again, maybe if there was true manipulation, that would be one thing. But again, like, the squeeze happened. Some people didn't take profit. Some people are still holding it from that squeeze. And they're trying to argue that GameStop is a fundamentally sound company and like it's just some type of hidden gem that's just manipulated by hedge funds. Again, take all of that smoke and mirror nonsense out of it and look at the true business model behind it. All right, like, let's look at the business model. Okay, that's the only thing we can really look at. GameStop, a majority of their business comes from buying and selling games and consoles. All right, that's the first fact behind it. Majority of their business comes from buying and selling games and consoles. Another obvious fact here is that, again, if we look at, here's the easiest way to look at it, right? I know there was a graph here somewhere. All right, here it is. All right, so this is a graph up to 2018. All right, 2018 graph. All right, I'm going to show you guys this. All right, so here's a graph. This is a graph from Gameopedia, I believe. This is a graph from Gameopedia. 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 Right, I'm pretty sure this is a graph from them. All right, look at Tesla rip up. Tesla at 241.30s right now, starting to move. Again, this goes up to 2018. If this is black is digital, all right, red or orange is physical. Okay, this is a trend that's been going on. Okay, And if this trend continues, which it obviously is going to, why? Because technology evolves. You don't need physical copies anymore. And you can't push for physical copies just because you want your stock to do well. You know what I mean? Like, the correlations with Blockbuster are accurate. And so you got to look at this objectively. If this continues, what's GameStop going to do in 10 years? They can buy other companies, sure, but then are they really GameStop? And I think people have to look at that objectively. C3 AI started to bounce a little bit here. Again, jobless claims, unemployment data drops in 20 minutes or so, about 20 minutes. Why would they not evolve and adapt? And maybe they will, right? But the problem, again, it's one thing to evolve and adapt. It's another thing if all of your business floats around one specific thing. You know, and that's one specific thing is becoming obsolete, is the truth of the matter. And again, I'm in GameStop right now. Like, I'm in GameStop. Okay? I'm in it right now. I hope it goes up. I want it to go up. I hope they do it. Bunch of Swifties buying record players and records for Christmas. Yeah, my daughter is a big record person. Like, she loves records, right? But there's a difference between the nostalgia of a record player and a video game disc drive for new consoles, right? There's always going to be retro. People are always going to want to buy physical copies of retro games, right? That's always going to be a thing. Like, again, physical copies of retro games are always going to be there. That's going to be a thing regardless of this, right? But that's not what this is, right? Like, this would be the equivalent of like Nintendo. Like buying an actual like Super Nintendo. That could be considered retro. Buying an actual arcade game. That could be considered retro. But like, the physical copies of Xbox One is not retro. It's just obsolete. People are just not going to use it anymore. It hasn't been long enough for it to be considered nostalgic or retro, and it's not new enough to make people really want it, you know. And again, they're still going to do business, but their business is going to decline. Sheesh, man. Like, spammers, dude. Hey, bro, do y'all actually think that's how you grow on social media? Do people think you actually grow on social media by going around spamming other channels with your links, acting like you're somebody else that just kind of randomly mentions it? Like, come on now. Nintendo stock is an OTC stock, if I remember correctly. What are steps to getting funded? Sign up, of course, trade a demo account, hit the profit target on the demo account without hitting the max loss and while following the rest of their rules. And then eventually they're going to send you, if you can pass that test, eventually they send you your login for the funded account. All right, guys, SPY back over, almost up to 456 right now at 455.50s here. Tesla bouncing back up with us as well. We're also looking at NVIDIA. We're looking at oil. Jobless claims, unemployment's coming out in about 14 minutes. This is a little bit early. This timer is a little bit early. It's really about 14 minutes. Again, we got over 500 people here now. They need to move into VR. Gonna be huge. Yeah. Again, if you want to check out Top Step and try to get funded like me, here's the link. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. They're a sponsor, of course. I'm biased, but they're a great company. Again, guys, will jobless claims come in higher or lower than expected? Let me know in chat. What do you think about playing MicroStrategy going forward into ETF approval and halving in May? Well, why not just buy Bitcoin, silver? I'm not telling you to buy Bitcoin. I'm just saying, what's the difference between doing that and buying Bitcoin? What's the benefit of it? Is the argument, I guess. Yeah, that's actually pretty messed up pawn about Sony. Alright guys, we're at 450, 550s on the SPY. We still got over 10 minutes left. About 600 people here live. Is it trash day? No, trash day was yesterday, sir. All right, guys. Hey, we got 9.5 minutes. A little bit over that. Really, we got about 11 minutes. Higher jobless claims is probably going to seen as better. Lower jobless claims are probably going to be seen as worse, but it's going to vary. Again, so higher is probably interpreted as better. Lower is probably interpreted as worse because the Fed says that they want less people working. They want a less robust, less resilient, more pushed down labor market. That's why they're raising rates. That's what they think is the halting thing towards hitting the 2% inflation goal over time. And so in that regard, they want all right, guys. Again, we're sitting here waiting. All right, team. Again, NASDAQ, SPY, Q pushing up a little bit here. SPY hitting over the highs of pre-market ahead of this report. We still got 7 minutes here, guys. 7 minutes. Yeah, just be careful trading this. Again, we don't know what the number's going to come in. If it turns out to be the predicted 222, we buy the dollar, right? No, I'm not telling you what to do. I have no idea. No, once you're funded, there's an activation fee, but you don't have to pay it afterwards. I asked you a couple years ago if you had $1,000 to place for a couple years, what it would be in. You said Disney. Yeah, I mean, I still think Disney's probably a good move. Maybe Apple would be a better move, Adam, but it depends, man. You know what I mean? Disney's one of those stocks that I trade over and over again, you know. But again, maybe Apple would be a better move. Maybe Nvidia, Microsoft would be a little bit better move. But again, it varies, of course. Everybody's different. Forex follows trends regardless with news. Maybe. Again, I don't really mess with Forex. There's too much red tape. I think futures trading is just a better move. It's easier to do. There's less red tape behind it. You don't need VPNs and all this crazy stuff to get it done correctly. Okay. All right, so again, we are moving up a little bit. We got 4 minutes, or we got about 5 minutes left here. The timer's a little bit early, and again, that's okay. By the poll number here, 59% of people don't understand how jobless affects the market. I mean, I don't know if you necessarily understand how these things affect the market, brother. Again, what I'm trying to tell you is this, okay? I'm not asking whether higher jobless claims affects the market bullish or bearish. Again, I think if it did, more jobless claims probably means bullish market action, number one. So again, I think you're wrong in that situation. I don't think you understand the nuance of the market, which is that the Fed wants a less robust labor market. The Fed said that one of the problems currently is the labor market has been too resilient. Basically, the Fed wants to push down the labor market. And so if we get more people filing for jobless claims numbers, that means less people working. That will probably mean the market's going to move up. At least that's how the market's behaved the last 2 months historically. That's how the market's acted, right? So number one, in that situation, I think higher jobless claims is going to be better for markets. Lower jobless claims is going to be worse, right? That's number one. Number two is that the overarching point of this poll was to ask people how they think the market is going to respond to jobless claims report today, good or bad, right? Do you think the market's going to go up or down basically after this report in 3 minutes? Yeah, again, base, I don't think you understand the market currently, brother. I don't think you understand economics right now. Again, if you look at last week and what that means, again, higher jobless claims numbers means less people working. That's been seen as a positive lately. We see that in both the JOLTS job opening report earlier this week, which came in much lower than expected, and what happened? The market ripped up. You see it with non-farm employment numbers yesterday, which came in much lower than expected. What happened? The market pushed up a little bit as soon as the report dropped. Again, now the market did other stuff afterwards, but I don't think the market necessarily wants more people working right now. I understand conventionally The market wants low unemployment and economic growth. But in a fearing inflation market where the Fed says they want to push the labor market down, it's actually the opposite right now, brother. So, right, exactly, flipping flapjacks. That's exactly right. The Fed wants less people working. Yeah, and again, as you can see, a lot of people correcting you. Again, it boils down to what I call the Dunning-Kruger effect in trading, right? It's the trading Dunning-Kruger effect. The people who shame other people the most usually know the least. If you don't know what the Dunning-Kruger effect is, look it up. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Again, I think anything could happen here, especially with jobless claims numbers. But, you know. Thank you for your explanation. Yeah, hey, all good. Again, I'm talking about, and again, you don't ever know what the market is going to do, like, moving forward, right? We still got 2 minutes, so this timer's a little bit off. We never know what the market's going to do moving forward, right? What I will tell you is that historically over the last, like, I would say month plus, more economic growth is seen as a negative. More people working is seen as a negative, right? In terms of market response, like whether the market goes up or down, more people working, again, over the last while, has been seen as a negative. Why? Because the market fears inflation right now. Inflation's out of control. More people working means more people spending, and that's bad. The Fed, Jerome Powell, says that he wants the labor markets too resilient, he says. Again, you have to pay attention to economics to understand the real results here. It's not just conventional. It's not just conventionally, you know. Again, we don't ever know what's going to happen. Again, nobody knows. But, like, again, you got to understand economics to understand what we might be getting here. Again, we got 45 seconds left. 45 seconds, guys. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up. We're also going to throw this in sub-only mode if we haven't yet. Yeah, we're going to throw it in sub-only mode. So, hey, announce yourself. Show us that you're supportive. No, we fear recession more than inflation. Not recently. No, we don't. The GDP came in much higher than expected, signaling not as much recession fears. But again, it varies. Again, that we fear both right now, to be honest, in a weird market. In terms of economic reports, typically more economic growth is seen as a negative, and more people working is seen as a negative right now because of inflation fears. All right, here's the report, guys. Here's the report. All right, here we go. All right, jobless claims numbers just showed up at 220K, lower than expected. 220K, and what has the market done, guys? Jobless claims lower than expected, 220,000 versus 222 expected. What has the market done? It's slightly gone down. You're welcome. You're welcome. Market is slightly dipped on this data. How did I know the market didn't want less jobless claims? Tesla down a little bit as well. Let's look at the Q. See what tech's doing. Q dipping down some. I wonder why. I wonder why more people working is seen as a negative right now, guys. You know, somebody let me know. Why do you think that is, team? Hey, we got about 1,100 people here. Y'all hit the subscribe button. Q gapping down a little bit on this report. No, it's not a huge miss, to be honest. It's mostly as expected, which is why we've had like a slight dip and not a huge dip. You know what I mean? Again, slight dip in everything. Slight dip in the SPY, slight dip in the Q. Again, signifying, if you want to know why, it's because we had a slight decrease in jobless claims numbers, which means more people working, more people spending, inflation problems. That's how the market sees it. Although it's slight, it's not a huge miss. Just so y'all can understand this. This is why we're dipping down slightly. Again, I told you guys, under expected probably cause dips. Over expected probably cause bounces. Right? Because more people filing for unemployment is not going to be seen as a bad thing right now with spending getting out of control and inflation, right? And the market is inflation fearing right now. You can look at how the market has reacted to economic reports to see this, right? You can look at how the market's reacted to economic reports. You can see how it's reacted to the prelim payroll numbers yesterday. You can see how the market reacted to the JOLTS job report earlier in the week. Again, JOLTS came in under expected numbers, less job openings than expected, market dipped. Right? You can see the prelim payroll numbers come in yesterday under the expected number. Market pushed up initially. Now, after this report, again, it's very mild reaction here so far. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. But yeah, we're in what's called good is bad and bad is good. Well, jobless claims drops weekly, right? So it's going to be a different reaction than something that we get from like unemployment numbers. All right, so again, slight dip on lower than expected jobless claims numbers. So more people working. Slight dip in tech. Again, anything could happen moving forward now. We're really hitting the VWAP on the SPY, so I think this looks kind of bullish in terms of technicals. But yeah, again, you can kind of see when the report dropped in the initial market reaction, which is pretty consistent with what it's been. Again, Jolt's report, just to show you guys, like Jolt's job openings, again, signaling what? Job openings, more work. Jolt's numbers came in lower than expected. When did Jolt's come out? I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, so again, the Jolt's report came in lower than expected on Tuesday at 10. So again, we zoom back here. When was Tuesday? Tuesday was what, the 5th, right? 5. So again, Jolt's came out 10 o'clock, and then get it. And again, wait, let me see. Let me find this. Fifth. Yeah, so again, Jolt's come in much lower than expected. If we look back on the SPY, again, I'm in Central Time, so it's going to be 9 o'clock my time is when the Jolt's report came out. So again, if you want to look at 9 o'clock when Jolt's came out, again, signaling less job openings. Here's 10 o'clock right here. And again, this is what the market did from it. That's the 10 o'clock bounce. And so again, why is less people working, less job openings, signaling positive action for the same exact reason? And I'm repeating this over and over again so you guys can understand. Because again, tomorrow we have payroll and unemployment data. And again, to be honest, I have no idea what the market is going to do from this report. I have no idea what the market's going to do from this report. But again, what I will say is that lately, and again, this has been for months now, the market has been fearing inflation. GDP came in much higher than expected. And so the market's not really having those recession fears. It's just not. Market's too strong. Too many people are spending right now to fear recession. And again, you see that universally. The job market's too resilient is what Powell, like basically what Powell said regarding it was that the labor market was too resilient. It was too strong for both recession worries as well as too strong for inflation right now. He said in order for us to hit that 2% target, we need the labor market to cool off, right? And so with that in mind, economic reports showing a cooling labor market is what is going to cause positive reactions in markets right now. Right, a recession is always eventually going to happen. The problem is when it's going to happen. Well, I think we're going to get a soft landing as well, but again, Powell speaks next week, guys, next week. But again, tech is the one that you kind of see. Again, the Q down slightly from this report, signifying a slight miss. Chewy started to bounce back a little bit. And again, guys, if you haven't already, check out my sponsor. One of my sponsors is Top Step. It's a funded account program in futures. It's a great way to learn day trading. Like, again, if you want to learn how to day trade, in my opinion, you should never put the money up yourself if you're trying to learn how to day trade. You should never put the money up yourself. Why not? Because almost all day traders are going to lose money. Here's the NASDAQ. This is basically the same price action as the Q. And you can day trade it in futures and there's no PDT rule, right? But if you put the money up yourself, almost all day traders lose money. It doesn't matter whether they go through Top Step or somewhere else. Almost all day traders lose. And so you could either try to look cool and put the money up yourself and lose, or you could take a funded account program like Top Step, have a very limited risk. The base combine's $49. With that, they're going to give you a $50K demo account. And if you can make $3,000 on that $50,000 demo account without losing $2,000, so a 2 to 3 ratio, reasonable test, they fund you $50K with a 90% split, and they pay out millions, fund thousands of traders every year, pay out millions in actual withdrawals every year. Just taking the challenge builds your skill. If you lose, you're only out $49, what you pay for the combine. If you're good enough to pass it, you get $50K in funding with a 90% split. So it's the best of both worlds. Limited risk. The reward is similar to putting the money up yourself. They have free funding coaches. Day trading futures, there's no PDT rule. You can buy market, sell market, buy bid, sell the ask, just like stocks, but there's no PDT rule. A great way to learn trading. If you want to check it out, here is the link. Appreciate the love. Love you. Have a good day. You look great. You look great. Rudolph. Sorry, my daughter's dressing up like Santa for Christmas. I might buy this dip, though. We're going to see if we can buy this dip right here on the NASDAQ. We've already made $550 on the day. And so, again, we're going to buy this dip, see if we can scale into it. All right, so we're up 5. So we're up about 50. Gonna go ahead and lock this in, scalping this move. Just took some profit. You can see we're up about 600 on the day on Top Steps funded account program. Again, like I told you guys, I thought this technical move was bullish. The SPY's right at the volume weighted average price. Again, people are gonna act like they were right, but here's the move we got from Jobless Claims, which is, again, a weekly report. It's gonna be much less significant than like tomorrow's unemployment and payroll report. Hey. Yeah. Please make the screen less blurry. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. I put the Jobless Claims numbers on screen. Fannie Mae says only 14%. Fannie Mae says only 14% of consumers believe it's a good time to buy a home. I'm surprised 14%. I'm surprised 14% of people think it's a good time to buy a home. Yeah, I mean, again, day trading is probably seen as a gamble. But again, like, y'all could either follow somebody that pretends to be a guru, sells you signals and stock picks or whatever they want to sell you, you know, fabricating things. Or you could follow somebody that tells you the truth, which is that I'm not an investment professional. You know, I certainly am not claiming to be the most profitable day trader ever. That's not really what my channel is about. My channel is mostly about economics. And so, you know, again, you can follow somebody pretending, or you can follow somebody being honest. Again, not claiming to be an expert, not claiming to be a profitable. I don't sell a course. I don't act like a guru. I don't tell anybody to buy or sell anything. We just kind of tell people the truth. You know, sometimes the truth hurts, but we tell them it nonetheless. And hey, if you appreciate that, hit that sub button, hit the notification bell. I've got about 4 monitors. I've got 2 34-inch ultra wides right here, top and bottom. Y'all see one of the ones on top, and then I've got a 27-inch on my left and a 27-inch on my right. And it really depends on what you consider gambling in nature, right? Like gambling, like you can call it a gamble, and that's fine. Again, this is my P&L today. If you look at my P&L yesterday, it's the same thing. Here's my P&L today. We are up about 6. Here's my P&L yesterday. Again, I can't fake this. This is pulled directly from my platform. Yesterday in this account, we had a 14-to-1 win-loss ratio. So again, people can say whatever they want. That's fine. Again, it depends on what your definition of gambling is. If your definition of gambling is risking money, buying a house is a gamble, certainly right now. You know, if your definition of gambling is risking money with unfavorable odds, it ultimately depends. And again, y'all also have to understand, like, my TOS account, guys, like I said, it's got about 70,000 and a little bit under 70K right now. And so again, TOS account has over 70K in it, or not over 70K, I'm sorry, under 7, like slightly under 70K. We don't really need to get funded either. We're getting funded just to show you guys, like, if you don't have as much equity as me, it's useful. You know what I mean? Hey, thank you, Matt. My guy, thanks so much. He said, I love how the channel has all the Fed economic streams without myself having to Google and look around for them. Hey, that's what we do here, bro. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Do you think day trading is a zero-sum game? Not necessarily. I think you can build the skill. I think you can build the skill, and it could be a skill you'll have for the rest of your life. I think most day traders lose, though. You know, I think most day traders lose money, and I think that's not really a controversial take. I think most day traders will agree that most people doing it lose money. And so I think if you're going to do it, I think you should use a funded account program instead of putting up thousands yourself. Like, people hate on these funded account programs. Top Step's the most legit one in the world. But, like, again, the PDT rule is the most ridiculous rule in trading. It basically makes day traders who want to day trade without restriction have to have a $25,000 margin account. Right? So you're making a new trader that, you know, and you could say, oh, well, just don't use 25K. No new trader has risk management. You're making a new trader trade a ridiculously large account for their first account. Almost all day traders lose money. Like, you're basically forcing somebody to lose $25,000. And honestly, part of me thinks it's intentional. The PDT rule is one of the most ridiculous rules in the world. The futures market and these funded account programs are useful because there's no PDT in futures. And it allows you to get started. And most people are going to lose in day trading, regardless of where they do it, on Top Step or not. It's a lot cheaper to lose on Top Step. You still have the same, like, you still have some pressure to succeed. If you're good enough to pass it, you get a 90% split once you're funded. And so the reward is similar. You're just losing less, 100%. And if you're good enough to pass it and you don't have that much equity, it's very useful in that regard as well. I want your TOS account. Yeah. Yeah, day trading buying power on TOS, they give me like $250,000 almost. Like around $250,000. It's just day trading buying power, though. I think regular BP, I'm not sure what they give me. But yeah, I think a lot of the time what happens is, like, a lot of people consider me critical of gurus, right? And so if you think I threaten your business model, you might be kind of critical of me. You might not like me because, again, I'm going around telling people the truth, which is that most day traders lose money. You don't need to buy a course either. You could probably find whatever's in that course publicly available for free out there on the internet. You know, it's just not something you want to do. And a lot of people take that as me attacking them, even though I never even mention names. But if the shoe fits, you know. But, you know, because of that, people get weird with me. They try to bring up, like, day trading or whatever it is, when really we're just kind of a broad economics channel. Like, most of my big views come from, like, again, if you look at my channel here, like, we day trade, of course. Like, we cover day trading. But, like, most of my big streams, again, if you look at them, Jerome Powell, we had 33,000 people. Economics, Cybertruck, you know, stocks, like stock market in general. Cybertruck, like Tesla event. PCE data, economics, you know what I mean? New home sales data, Fed minutes report, NVIDIA earnings, PPI, CPI, you know what I mean? These are our big streams. Jobless claims, Jerome Powell, like, those are our big streams, right? Again, those are our big streams. Sorry, I'm looking up this guy Martin Lucas because somebody tried to shill him earlier. So I was trying to see if it was a shill or if it was actually a big channel, but I'm pretty sure it was just some shill for them. I can't say for sure, but usually what happens is people think you have to grow online, and say they go around. They think the way you grow is by going, like, plug themselves in other people's streams, but that just ends up burning bridges most of the time. I appreciate that about you, BT. Lots of people selling their nonsense. Yeah, I mean, again, it's all good, man. I'm not against courses either. I'm not beefing with anybody. I don't mention names, you know. Yeah, it's all good. If a person found a statistical edge in the market through some sort of statistical modeling, would you sell your edge for $20 a month? Probably not. But I mean, at the same time, it depends. You know, again, you have to think about it in terms of scale, right? Like, I think the way to understand it is like smart people diversify income, right? In trading, regardless of how good you are short-term trading, it's always going to be somewhat unstable in income. You could be the best day trader ever. It's still going to be somewhat unstable, right? And so I don't necessarily see anything wrong with diversifying your income streams. I think that's what smart people do. I think as long as it's reasonable, right? Like if you're telling everybody that you can get rich tomorrow if you buy your course, like again, if you're, you know, there used to be a guy who would, he had like a backpack, right? And he would be like, look, this is what I made this morning day trading. And he would take out like stacks of cash. It was like 40K. And it was just the most ridiculous thing. And it's like, bro, what did you have, an ATM in your backpack? You withdrew that money today, bro? Like, get out of here, man. Like, nonsense. But again, people are gullible. You know, people want to get rich, right? And so if you tell somebody, yo, you can get rich, you just got to buy this $1,000 course. If somebody really wants to get rich, they might ignore logic and actually do it. Doesn't mean it's the right move. Data's already out. It might be right below me on screen, bro. It might be right here. Chewy? I bought a little bit of Chewy because I think Chewy, I like Chewy as a company, and I think it's extended on the downside. Especially over the last like month or two. I think Chewy's extended on the downside. It's dropped from basically $40 down to $17 a share. So I think it's extended on the downside. So in that regard, I like Chewy. So I bought up a little bit. But again, I buy it up small size. I'm not taking large size. I'm buying small size as it pulls back. I did the same thing with Exxon because I think oil is down so much right now that I added a little bit to Exxon. And so that's kind of where I am now. But we'll see. Again, it's a small enough trade where if it doesn't go my way, it's all good. You selling for Top Step? Well, yeah, for sure. But I'm telling people I'm biased in their favor, and that, you know, again, usually every plug you'll ever hear me do, I'll say, hey, I'm biased in their favor because they pay me money, right? And so again, you can plug stuff. Of course, I'm going to have sponsors, right? But there's a difference between saying, hey, this is a cool service, check them out. I'm sponsored by them. They're paying me money, but I'm sponsored by them, versus saying, hey, if you buy my day trading course, you're going to get rich, right? One's honest, one's not. You know what I mean? And I'd rather be the honest one. What do you think about buying Etsy? I'm actually in Etsy right now. But I'm kind of flat. I was down more. Etsy's bounced back a lot. At the mods, do you think I could claim? Yeah, we're not making any new mods, Sam. No new mods, man. I appreciate your activity here on the channel, brother. I really do. But again, I'm not making any new mods. I'm not making anybody anything. Too many fake account people trying to make fake accounts, and they might be nice at first, but it's just, no, for lack of a better word, I don't trust anybody here to be another mod. Pawn's the guy that I'm paying Pawn. I don't really need more mods than that because I can usually handle it. So I appreciate the support though, brother. I really do. But yeah, I'm not making any new mods anytime soon. So the data already came out. I lost my trade on Monday. Yeah, all good, Sam. Okay, sorry if I misinterpreted, brother. It's all good. Edwards Life Science reaffirmed 23 guidance, announces intent to spin off its critical care unit at the end of 24. We had Canadian building permits come in at 2.3% as well. Remember, the big report comes in tomorrow. These are all prelim numbers today and yesterday to a certain extent. The big report comes in tomorrow. Palantir, AI stock might move with AI hype, but I'm skeptical of it. I like it as a company, don't get me wrong, but it's a mid-cap stock, so it's kind of hit or miss for me. All right, guys. Etsy would be good after a couple weeks. Yeah, maybe next quarter. But again, it really depends. I'm not sure. I'm in Etsy right now. We're holding a bunch of different stuff currently. If you want to know my portfolio, it's and again, I'm not telling you to buy any of this, but this is just my current portfolio. And some good, some bad. Apple, AMC, ARM, Amex, Citigroup, Chewy, Disney, Etsy, Ford, Gold, GameStop, Google, Home Depot, Honeywell, Coca-Cola, MGM, Microsoft, Netflix, Nike, Oracle, Pfizer, PayPal, RTX, Snapchat, The Spy, SQ, Tesla, Tyson Foods, Walgreens, Walmart, and ExxonMobil is my current portfolio. And again, on that portfolio, we are up about $1,500, give or take, on it. Do you like to party? I mean, bro, I'm married with kids, dude. Yeah, sorry, AD. I'm not sure why Super Chat's not working for you, brother, but I appreciate the support nonetheless, man. Why Snapchat? My average price in Snapchat currently, and we took some off yesterday, but my average price is like $9 a share. It's at 15 right now. And so, again, I talked about this yesterday. Every time I buy Snapchat, people get mad, right? But you'll have to understand extension. The reason I bought Snapchat at the $8 and $9 level is simple. The reason I bought Snapchat is because it has hundreds of millions of daily active users, right? And it's $8 a share. You know, people get, you know, I understand being skeptical of a company and not wanting to buy it. Like, I get it. But I also think that you don't want to just blindly hate companies. If you find yourself hating a company or like loving a company, you're probably too emotional about it. I talked about it earlier with GameStop. Like, if you find yourself part of a stock community that's trying to make you feel all warm and fuzzy about holding a position, you're at risk. Why? Because you should never feel that way about any stock. It needs to be a completely mindless thing. You should have no emotional attachment to any stock whatsoever, especially not like a nostalgic emotional attachment like GameStop. You buy it if it has value. If it doesn't have value, you don't buy it, or you sell it, or whatever. But with Snapchat, again, hundreds of millions of daily active users, $8, $9 a share. I took a small enough trade to where it wasn't super risky. You know what I mean? Like, if I was wrong on it, I'll be all right. But I wasn't wrong on it. We're up huge percentages on it. And we took a little bit of profit off of it yesterday. We're still holding a piece of it, though. No, not $1,500 today. I'm up $1,500 total currently on this portfolio. But again, we take profit off of it. Like, again, we took Snapchat off. We take money off of this pretty regularly. So on the current holdings, we're up like $1,500. Data's already out. It's right below me. FOMC next week. FOMC is almost certainly going to be a pause or a skip. We're not going to raise rates next week, despite any wannabe analysts telling you that we're going to. It's wildly outside of expectations. Maybe we do raise rates. It's just so unlikely that we do. Y'all just be careful. Again, we're almost certainly going to pause or skip. The Fed doesn't like to shock people, and so it's very unlikely that everybody expects a pause or skip and the Fed comes outside of expectations and does it. I'm not saying it can't happen. Again, it certainly could. It's just almost certainly not going to. So be smart. Here, I'm going to end this poll right now. What's a good poll? Does the market close red or green today? I'm doing the evaluation to get funded account. Any tips? Trade small, trade slow, take risks when you're trying to get funded, and once you're funded, scale down your size. That's what I would do. Hawk or dove speech? I'm going to go with dovish because, I think we've seen better than expected job market data, meaning we've seen more push down in the labor market, which is what the Fed wants, right? So we've seen much more push down in the labor market. Again, it's what the Fed says they want. And so since we've seen that, I think the Fed's going to be more optimistic, more dovish, less restrictive. I don't think we're going to end up cutting rates or anything until early next year, maybe mid next year. But I certainly don't think we're going to raise rates again anytime soon. No, I drink coffee. You know, like I drink coffee, but that's about it. Do you believe in a Santa Claus rally and why? Well, the market is purely based off of economics, right? And when does the economy thrive the most in terms of sales? The holiday season, the fall and winter months typically is when we make the most sales in the economy in general. And so I think we get a Santa rally. Number one, technical things happen because other people think they are going to happen, right? So one of the reasons we get a Santa rally is simply because people think we're going to get a Santa rally. And so they start buying and holding more than they normally would in anticipation of that Santa rally, right? It's a self-fulfilling thing. The other reason is just because typically the economy is booming around the holidays, and that makes, stocks which are based around sales and revenue go up to a certain extent. But, the reason why varies. Yeah, SPY is ripping up a lot. Pretty good. Yesterday we had a big red day, so we were in an upward trend basically all morning today. Like you can see, Tesla, SPY, we've been in an uptrend essentially all morning here. This is basically the entire trend of the morning. We got a little dip when jobless claim numbers came out, but we continued in this upward trend pretty strong. Equities portfolio is pretty good too. That's possible for sure, Jonathan. About some people cut positions to avoid, some people cut their losses to write off more for taxes. You know what I mean? And then sometimes they buy back in. That's true. That happens for sure. Do you think Nvidia is cheap? I don't know if cheap is the right word. I think it has potential, but I think the PE ratio, price to earnings, that is very high. Along with a lot of other stocks right now. So I wouldn't necessarily call it cheap, especially conventionally cheap with PE ratios being super high. What is the PE on Nvidia right now? It's got to be like, what, 50, 100? Good PE is like, what, 15, 20, 30 maybe right now. So I don't know if I'd call it cheap, but I think it has potential with how influential AI might be. There's no maximum time. There's no maximum time. There is a minimum time of 2 days. The reason there's 2 days is because you can't make more than $1,500 in profit per day based off of that. So they don't allow you to make over 50% of your profit target. So if your profit target is $3,000, you can't make over $1,500 a day, right? Which means that if you make $1,500 one day and $1,500 the next, it's going to take you 2 days to get funded, and that's your minimum amount of time to get funded is 2 days. I don't like BABA. BABA is too much. It's too unstable overseas is the easiest way to put it for BABA. It's too unstable. Fed rate hike decision date, please. The 13th. So it's going to be next Wednesday? Yeah, it's going to be next Wednesday at 2 p.m. We're going to stream the whole thing live. We also have PPI and CPI next week as well. So let me see exactly when it's going to be. So yeah, so next week Very busy week. Tuesday, we got CPI. Wednesday, we got PPI. We have the Fed rate hike decision Wednesday evening. Thursday, we have jobless claims and retail sales. Friday, and the Philly Fed Index. Friday, we got the Empire State Manufacturing number and industrial production and capacity utilization. So next week's like a very, very busy week in markets for sure. And again, earnings season is basically done also. SPY's still looking pretty strong. Again, I'm for it. My equities portfolio is looking pretty solid. All right, guys, so we got a little dip. All right, team. Again, we got the FOMC rate hike decision. When's the next Jerome Powell speech outside of... Let's see if this works. All right, so again, Q just ripped over highs again. It's at 387.64. What's Google News? Powell Wednesday. Yeah, I know next week we have Powell's speech. So I know next Wednesday we have Powell's speech, but still. Hey, I'll be right back, guys. Be right back. If I take longer than 2 minutes, you can call me for the rest of the day. All right, so bathroom break. If I take longer than 2 minutes, you can call me dummy for the rest of the day. Let me get the timer up. All right, so will I do it in time? I actually got to go do something else. It's not even a number 2. It's a number 1, but still. So it's a little bit cheat, but hey, it's all right. Ready? You ready, guys? Again, if I take longer than 2 minutes, you can call me dummy for the rest of the day. Q just ripped up a little bit. We're going to get ready to start day trading here. Give me a second. But yeah, we'll be right back. All right, ready, set. All right, I'm back. I've been back for the last couple minutes, but I beat the timer only slightly. Only slightly beat the timer. So, and not for a couple minutes. I've been back for like 3 seconds. I just had to sit down and get stuff ready, but I'm back. Woo! Cut it right in time. But if y'all want to call me dummy for the rest of the day, I guess you can if you want to. Cap? Really what happened was I got here and I started talking. Number one, it wasn't a number two, it was a number one. My son is here right now. And so I had to go check on him and do something else. So it wasn't actually a number two before you call me dirty hands, but that's all right. What's up, Bianca? I use a bunch of different sources. It was only 2 minutes this time, you know, but that's all right. All right, guys. Hey, we got 20 minutes here. I like trading economics, economic calendar. Yeah, there's a bunch of good ones. I mean, the big thing, like, I'll give you a list of what I check for, okay? Because, like, again, because this is my job as, like, an analyst, I already know what's going to happen, okay? Not in terms of market action, but what I mean is, like, I already know what economic reports we have every month. So every month we have the same ones, just to give you some perspective and kind of how to follow economics and what happens. Every 6 weeks, the Fed meets to do their FOMC rate hike decision and meeting. Rate decision, I should say, because sometimes they cut rates, right? If inflation's really bad, they raise rates to combat it. If inflation's not really bad, sometimes they pause, sometimes they cut rates, depending on the situation economically. And so, yeah, economic-wise, I should say. But yeah, that happens every 6 weeks. Weeks after the Fed meeting, they have what's called the FOMC Fed Minutes Report, which is just kind of breakdown on why they chose to make the decision that they did and kind of recapping the last Fed meeting. And so that happens every 6 weeks as well, but it happens weeks after the FOMC meeting. So every 6 weeks, FOMC meets. Weeks after that, you have the FOMC Fed Minutes Report, and that happens every 6 weeks in cycles throughout the year. At 2 o'clock is when the rate decision is announced. At 2:30, they do the press conference from it. This is next Wednesday. And then once a month, you get multiple different economic reports, right? My list of economic reports that I specifically cover here on this channel goes FOMC meetings, CPI, which is Consumer Price Index, PPI, the Producer Price Index, PCE, the Personal Consumption Expenditure, GDP data, unemployment data, non-farm payrolls and employment. And the non-farm employment report was yesterday. Tomorrow we have the non-farm payrolls report. We also cover jobless claims weekly here on this channel, which is a weekly report. We also cover like Tesla events, earnings calls for all the big companies like Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Google, earnings. We cover those for sure. And if they're in the morning, sometimes we'll cover them as well. But we mostly stream evening earnings calls and earnings reports. We also cover events like Tesla event. We covered the Cybertruck debut event. We would have covered AMD's AI event as well. We cover Nvidia chip events and stuff like that also. And then also aside from that, we kind of delve into like some political content depending on what it is. Like if the president's going to speak or something like that, we can stream that and kind of comment on that. Although I'm pretty neutral politically, I don't really mess with all that stuff. But yeah, that's basically the nuance of what happens year to year. In terms of economics. We also stream like Jerome Powell press conferences, of course. And again, if you look at my channel, my biggest streams are Jerome Powell press conferences. Powell's definitely not raising. what happens to the job report. So the job report came in slightly under expected, which is pretty neutral, right? The market was still in an upward trend prior to it. And again, the market was down a lot prior to this. We also have some other members speaking on economic stuff today, but we don't have any Fed members because we're in what's called the blackout period. If you don't know what that is, for a week prior to the FOMC meeting, they have what's called a blackout period. It also goes on to after the FOMC meeting, in which they can't really talk about the economy. Bro, have y'all ever seen this? This has got to be, like, look, I'm sorry, but I do want to comment on this. Like, let me show you guys this. Have y'all ever seen this right here? I shared this the other day on my Twitter page. Look, I'm going to mute the music for a second just so y'all can see this. It is absolutely ridiculous, bro. Like, this is one of the most, like, I'm not trying to call this person dumb. Okay, I'm not, listen. I'm not trying to call this person dumb. But just listen to this, okay? Just listen to this. South Carolina repping us well, okay? Look at this.
Okay. Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa.
This is
should
real.
Help the Iraq and the Asian countries.
Time's up.
So we will be able to build up our future for our.
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
Wow. South Carolina, ladies and gentlemen. Hey. South Carolina, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Bro. Oh, it's so bad, man. It's so bad. I can't stop laughing about it. It really is so funny, dude. Like, what? Like, man. Like, way to reinforce stereotypes here, lady, okay? Way to reinforce stereotypes. Yeah, it's not just nerves, right? Because you could tell she called it, look, there's so much wrong with what she said. She started off okay with like, hey, we should buy people more maps, right? Like, I'm okay with that. Like, it's still nonsensical. What do we just not have? We've got a map shortage around here? Of course not. Like, it's nonsensical, but like, I'm okay with that answer. You know what I mean? But when you go into like, the rest of it was just nonsense. It was just like, it made no sense. Nah, Britney, if Britney Spears and her debated, I feel like Britney would, win that. Britney's taking that W. You know what I mean? She did a post interview and a talk show for Redemption. Yeah, but I mean, listen, the reality of it is, okay? And again, I'm not trying to hate. I'm just kind of messing around because it's hilarious. But like, the reality of it is, that was just not a very smart answer, okay? Again, I'm not hating, but like, again, I've been laughing about that for days. I showed my kids that. Yeah, she should have stuck with the lack of maps, right? I mean, it still didn't make sense. Still would. It still made no sense whatsoever, but like, it's a better answer than what she came with afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, it's a better answer than what she came with afterwards, because what she came with afterwards, you could tell like her coach told her she needed to mention like some of this other stuff going on. Like, you could tell they wanted her to say specific buzzwords and stuff like that. But again, if your person like can't be creative on the spot, do not give her buzzwords, because then throwing out those buzzwords are just going to be, again, it's nonsensical. It didn't make any sense. Yeah, all I can really think about is who was the blonde in the 90s that married Nick Lachey? That's who she reminded me of. Inflationary map shortages. All right, guys. Q at 388s right now. 388s. Ashley Simpson, yeah. Or no, is it Jessica Simpson? It's Jessica Simpson, yeah. Again, that's who she reminded me of personally. Again, I understand it too. Man, my hair's looking crazy. Look at my hair. Top 3 hairs in the world right now, guys. But no. Yeah, I'm just going to shut up about it. All right, Tesla dipping down a little bit. Q at 388s right now, almost back up to 390s. My portfolio's looking okay. Like, anytime you feel bad about your IQ, watch that video. You know what I mean? You'll feel better instantly. Doesn't matter how smart you are either. I don't know when that was from. I saw it on the internet the other day. Again, Q at 388s. Is the market going to push up or down at the opening bell, guys? Hey, we got 9 minutes, 9 minutes. All right, 9 minutes, team. I'm kind of bored right here. Market's up too much for me to buy it. Too strong for me to short it. Tesla dipping down a little bit. We're in Tesla right now, too. Tesla's still holding over 250. That's nice. Google rip it up today. I'm in Google as well. So I'm for Google rip it up. Let me see. Whoa, Google with a big gap up today. Wow. Average price on Google is 125. It's at 136 right now. I like Google as a company, though. Yeah, the host has to know. I can't guarantee if I'm hosting that and I'm holding that microphone that I'm not going to bust out laughing right in the middle of that. Which I probably would have been fired from it if I was that host. Let's be real. Yeah, like I said, I mean, again, I'm going to repeat this again. She went with the map shortage, argument, which, again, is completely nonsensical. It's not like we've got a, we're struggling to find maps out in the world. It's not like we have a map shortage on our hands here. But, again, still makes more sense than what she said. So, again, she should have just stuck with that argument and just hit it. Again, people probably would have laughed still, but it certainly wouldn't be as bad as what she said, which, again, was just gibberish. How would you answer that question? Probably hire better teachers. Pay teachers more, hire better teachers. Teaching's a hard job. If you start paying teachers better, you're going to have better teachers that want to work and take those positions, and in turn, that's going to build the students up in a much better way geographically. Is probably would have been my answer. Listen, top 3 Miss America contestants in the world right now, for sure. Right now, definitely top 3. SPY still breaking highs at 388.03 right now. 388.03. All right, guys. Again, I'm looking at these numbers here in terms of next week's CPI report. So again, I'm looking at these numbers next to next week's CPI report. And again, CPI is expected next week, guys. CPI is expected next week to come in at 0 on the year. At 0%. No. Okay, no, they don't have the expectations here. Sorry, I'm looking at this wrong. So let's see. This is Tuesday the 12th is when CPI shows up. CPI is expected at, or they don't have the expected numbers at. What do you guys think they're going to come in at for expected CPI's report? Crown him Miss America. Hey, top 3 for sure. Yeah, if you want people to have better geographic skills, teach them more geography. You know, make that a part of the agenda in school. You know what I mean? Get better teachers that can teach it better. And, you know, I mean, let's not even mention the worldwide map shortage that we have going on right now, apparently. Anyways. 0.1% is what they're expecting. I don't see the expectation here on my end. Let me see if I can look at it elsewhere. We look into next week. All right, December 12th. PPI data coming out. Okay, so yeah, 0.1% month over month. You're right. Core is expected at 0.2%. 0.2%. Last time it came in at 0% CPI month to month. Core inflation expected at 0.2% versus 0.2% last time. Your connection is lagging, UT. Again, people always say, hey, it's blurry. If it's blurry, it's on your end, not mine. Again, I can see my connection. My connection's fine. Yeah, 100% BG. I think I agree with that solution. But yeah, I'm also seeing the 0.1%. Yeah, I mean, for my guys out there, you might not think marrying somebody that's smart is a good move. For everybody out there, you might not think marrying somebody that's smart is a priority until you watch that South Carolina video right there, you know. And then you realize markets will go parabolic. Amped, what if we come in at 0.1%? I've got a physical copy of a map. I've got a globe as well. But this was what, 15 years ago? So I mean, this was when they were still using MapQuest. For all my OGs in chat, y'all might remember MapQuest. This is when they were still using them. All right, guys. Hey, we got a minute and a half. We got a nice little cushion built up at the open. Let's get ready. Here's the NASDAQ here. We're getting ready. Let's do this. Oh, I still got the bathroom break scanner up. Here, let me put there we go. The ironic thing is that incident made her more famous than she ever would have been if she would have answered it correctly. All right, so we're still in this upward trend, got a little bit of a dip and a pullback. Here's the opening bell, team. Let's see if we get it. All right, there's the opening bell. All right, big pullback at the opening bell on the NASDAQ here. Man, my equities portfolio ramped up here today. Wow, what is this? Why am I up so much? Google, one of them, that's cool. Honeywell, the other one, that's cool. Spy's up, I guess. Oh, oil, my oil trade, nice. Big dip. We got a nice cushion. Tesla bouncing up some here also. Google still ramping up nice. Patiently waiting here. The map shortage problem persists. I'm trying to help her argument intelligence and what are high priorities and finding my other half. Hey. Top 3 priorities in the world right now for sure. Tesla dipping down a little bit. Now dipping down under 241 at 240.80s. Q still trying to rip. NASDAQ bounced up. Big down wick on the NASDAQ here. All right, so huge rip on the NASDAQ. Big pop up in equities. Wow, big move. NASDAQ moving. Tesla still cracking lows, or right around lows, but the NASDAQ did bounce up. Again, I'm letting things settle down a little bit. We'll probably start trading in 1 to 2 minutes. All right, so team, again, we're still sitting here patiently waiting. Guys, patiently waiting. Anybody see Brock Lesnar's kid looks exactly like him. All right, so NASDAQ rip it up, Q rip it up. Tesla breaking lows. I kind of want to buy this dip. I'm going to buy it right here, although it's risky. We got a cushion on the day, though. That's the only reason we're taking it. All right, up. There we go. All right, just made another 60 bucks or so. We called that little downwick push. A big downwick here, but sometimes we feel these get downwicks. Tesla's still cracking lows, man. Look at the NASDAQ rip up again. 1 minute pullback, hammer candle style, which are usually kind of strong, but who knows what we're going to get. And again, we're day trading on Top Step. If you haven't already, check out Top Step. It's a funded program in futures. They give you a demo test your skill. If you lose, you're only out what you pay for, which is the base one's 49 bucks. If you're good enough to pass it, meaning you made $3,000 in profit without losing over 2,000, so a 2 to 3 ratio, reasonable, and you pass their rules, or you follow their rules and pass the test, they fund you $50,000 with a 90% split, up to $150K with a 90% split. You get to keep your first $10,000 in profit as well once you're funded. They got free funding, coaches, tons of resources. In the futures market, this is basically the Q. This is basically QQQ price action. It's the same thing as the Q. You can see here's the Q on the right, and then here's this. It's the same thing. Look, hammer, candle, same thing. But there's no PDT rule on this left side. I could day trade it short, buy market, all that good stuff. No PDT rule. And Top Step's the most legit futures funded program in the world. They pay out millions, fund thousands a year. Here's the link. All right, so we got a big upward move at the open. I mean, obviously this looks bullish, but I also think there's risks in buying this. Does it come with a free map? Top 3 maps in the world. All right, Tesla pulling up a little bit. It's at 241. It's right at the 200 EMA in the VWAP. I'm gonna buy this. Got a pop. I'll give it a little bit of time and try to cut it flat if it doesn't work. All right, so we just made another $100 real quick on there. You can see on this account. Hold on, let me see which account this is. All right, so this is the same one. This must be with commissions now. Oh, wait, here. Let me reset. All right, so we did get a little pop. Retracing a little bit. Tesla fighting its way back up too, though. Right now, look at Tesla. It's up there. The charts, the software I'm using on this left side here is called Quant Tower. Quant Tower. All right, so we're starting to turn. I'm gonna buy this here. All right, just made another $70 or so. See, again, the levels we're looking at previous support level. So again, you see this previous support level right here. That's the level we chose to buy this dip at, and it looks like it worked really nicely here. Tesla's starting to reject some though. Hey, nice, Ross. All right, look at this huge NASDAQ rip, man. Wow. Huge NASDAQ pop. Kind of crazy how big of a pop that is. Look at the Q and NASDAQ just fly up here. Anybody know the stocks that's dragging it up? Let me look at Apple. Is it Apple? Yeah, Apple flying up to 195s right now. 195s. Again, I'm in Apple right now. My average price is 166. I'm gonna take a little bit off now, actually. I'm in Google too. All right, just bought a dip. I'm gonna get out here. I don't like that move. So that's the first big loss I've taken in a minute. Again, the S&P 500 has been so choppy, dude. Like the S&P 500 price action looks terrible. Although the NASDAQ looks much better. Apple, yeah, Apple's been surging. See, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ are kind of doing the opposite things too. NASDAQ's dipping down, the S&P 500's ripping up. Tesla's falling down too, but weirdly enough, my equities portfolio is doing okay. Yeah, GameStop's ripping back up. I'm in GameStop. I hope it goes up. All right, Tesla just cracked deep under the previous closing price and starting to fall. Apple with a big pullback too. Tesla's still cracking lows here, moving down. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Tesla. Goldman Sachs expects the ECB to cut by 25 basis points a meeting from April 2024. That's something to watch. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Tesla. It's down a lot though. Tesla might just be dipping because it's had a lot of news out about it already. Let me see. Apple's still pushing up to test some highs though. Yeah, I don't see any Tesla justification for this dip. All right, we're in the regular E-mini. We've already taken a lot of this off. We're up about 50 bucks, 40 bucks. We're going to get out the rest there. You can see our day is back up to where we are now up in this account, 850 or so. Mostly riding the weakness from, I see Tesla starting to decrease here. Yeah, sorry. My wrist is hurt, guys. I'm over here trying to mess with it. They say one of the stretches I should do. Let's try it. It's the praying hands. This is one. this? Sorry, guys. I'm stretching my wrist, man. My wrist hurts. What's this? All right, so we're getting a little dip here. Tesla started to bounce back up. It's over 238. Oof. Apple's still very strong today. Apple's one of the stronger stocks this morning. And again, if you want to see one of the reasons I'm up today, in my opinion, I'm using a company called Chart Prime. I talked about this earlier. Trading view indicator service you can use in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. So you can kind of see, just to zoom in here, I use so many of these alerts. Like, look at how accurate these can be. All right, so again, let me put just this up. Here is the NASDAQ, which is what I've been trading. This is a daily chart. All right, like look at how useful this can be on a long-term chart. So right, look, this is a daily chart. Reversal down, we've had dips. Buy signal came in way back here. We've had days of bounces. Reversal up signal came back here. We had days of bounces. Sell signal there worked. Buy signal there. You got a little bit of follow through. Sell signal there worked. Buy signal there worked. Sell signal there worked. And so again, powerful. John Madden over here. But again, if we zoom in a little bit and we put up a 5-minute chart as an example on TradingView. And again, this is a company called Chart Prime. I can use it in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. I can use it in Tesla. I can use it on my funded account programs. Very powerful and useful here. If you check them out, got to reset it since I changed the time frame. But again, this is a 5-minute chart. This pullback looks decent. Running into some glitches today with the Pro. There we go. Look at the reversal down signal called it. We got a nice little breakdown afterwards on a 5-minute chart. And again, we'll see if the follow through continues. All right, and then here's this one. Again, look at how accurate these are, man. I can't guarantee anybody's gonna make money from them. If you look at a 1-minute chart, I've been using the 1-minute chart. If you're gonna use a 1-minute chart, you can use the Market Oracle Pro. It's the buy and sell signals. It's where they're gonna be the most effective, in my opinion. And so let it load. Look at the strong buy signal coming in here. Look at the strong signals. Nice little pop. Look at the strong signal coming in way back here. Huge bounce afterwards. Right, so again, and you can back test these yourself. Look at the buy signal bounce, sell signal drop, strong buy signal. Again, if you tally up how many of the strong work, look, strong, huge bounce. And you can set alerts for these as well. Strong right here, nice bounce. This one didn't work, but what, that's 1 in 5. And so again, I challenge you to back test these yourself. There's so much that you can use. You can put up chart patterns, you can put up screeners, oscillators. They have a back tester if you're a lifetime subscription, so you can see where these are working at what specific time. Again, it's a company called Chart Prime. It's a trading view indicator service. I'll put this link up. I use it a ton with funded account programs like Top Step. But again, there's the link for it if you want to check it out. Again, they are a sponsor of mine. I can't guarantee you're going to make money. Nobody can. Here's the link if you want to check them out. We are starting to break down a little bit here. So that reversal signal looks like it might have worked. GameStop's starting to bounce up a little bit also. All right, so we'll probably short if we get a little pop up here. Again, my portfolio is still doing pretty solid today despite all this red action that we're showing up right now on the chart. I need a little bounce before I short, though. I don't want to short now. I need a small bounce. I need a small bounce. If we don't get the bounce, I'm not going to do it. It's too extended. All right, there's a little bit of one. I need a little bit more. We need a little bit of a bounce on a 1-minute chart. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. That's big. All right, so we got a small pop. We got a cushion on the day, so like no matter what. We're mostly just using one contract position sizing today. All right, so we got the little pop. We could take more risks if I want to as well, but I don't think I'm going to give back all my profit today trying to take crazy big risks. All right, got a little flush down. Slightly green on the day, up 50, 40. There we go. Go ahead and lock that in. What the heck is that? I don't know what that was just now. But we made money on it. But we're up about 900 on the day. I accidentally used a limit order, I guess. Again, here's my range today. No stretching a sprained wrist. Apply ibuprofen. Keep a brace on it. Might have to buy a brace. All right, I'm still trying to be patient here, but I'll probably close it, go ahead and close it down, guys. I don't see much else going on. We got a nice green day, and I don't want to give it back. Again, here's my graph. We're going to finish strong. We got a 4.2 to 1 win-loss ratio today on this one. Again, yesterday, you can see we did pretty well, too. So, again, we're doing all right so far. Again, if you want to join one of these funded account programs with me, check out Top Step. We appreciate the love and support. Check them out. Link is in the description. Try to get funded. It's a cheaper way to learn day trading, and if you're good enough, it's cheaper than putting up the money up yourself. Most day traders lose, so you can either try to look cool on the internet, or you can try a funded account program, conserve your money, trade smart, learn how to day trade, and then try to get funded. And once you're funded, you can do whatever you want with it. So that's the way I would do it, in my opinion. Again, they give you a demo, test your skill in futures. If you can pass the test, they fund you. If you don't, you're probably going to lose less than you would. Again, here's the link for that. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all be safe. I'll be back bright and early tomorrow. Biggest day of the week. We got non-farm payrolls and unemployment. Guys, I'll see you guys later.